Hi, my name is Dr. Inga Thiemann. I'm a lecturer in the School of Law at the University of Exeter, and my research is on labor law responses to human trafficking and exploitative working conditions. My second research interest is feminist responses to informal labor, and so one of the key aspects of my research is on sex work. And in the past, I've worked a lot on the category of the victim of human trafficking in law, and there's this tendency across different legislations to conflate human trafficking and sex work, regardless of whether or not human trafficking is considered a separate problem, and whether or not sex work is legal or it's not legal. So for example, in Germany, a legislation where trafficking is obviously a big problem, but on the other side, sex work is considered to be perfectly legal. There's still this conflation of human trafficking and sex work, and sex workers have specific legislation that applies to them that is more restrictive than in other labor sectors. So there's this paternalistic approach to protecting sex workers. And my research challenges both the category of the victim of human trafficking, and it also challenges this notion of paternalistic protections for women workers. I'm now starting a new research project on the working conditions of sex workers more generally, and I'm planning to initially conduct qualitative interviews with sex workers in hopefully 3 different legislations. And I'm going to find out more about their choices, their work patterns, their work-life balance, because this is something that affects women workers in all industries, and because it is also often cited as one of the key reasons for the continuation of the gender pay gap. And sex work is interesting in that regard because it is one of the few labor sectors where women on average get paid much more than men. In the second stage of the project, I'm hoping to also interview domestic workers and care workers, and then compare those experiences with the experiences of sex workers, because those 2 sectors, sex work and care work, are the primary sectors where exploitative labor practices happen for women. Especially human trafficking, those are the 2 main sectors for women to be trafficked into. And I want to find out the commonalities between these 2 sectors, but also their differences and what can be learned from the experiences of women working in these sectors for changing policy and labor regulation in these areas. Ultimately, I'm also interested in figuring out about this question about the work-life balance, women's willingness or unwillingness to perform emotional labor for free, and whether or not we can learn something from these workers, especially from sex workers, about being more stringent with the demarcation of work life and private life.